Well, hello there, Leo. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your September general tarot reading. We'll take a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards and then go to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path, areas of resistance, and of course, advice about how to move around those and manifest what your heart truly desires. All right, let's jump into it. Let's see what we have on the horizon for you. Okay, you have time for a nap and then giraffe spirit. Okay, so this is the energy. This is very Sagittarian energy, okay? It's the energy of seeing the big picture. You need a time out from something. You need... let's go to the tarot and get some more details. But this is a situation where you could feel like you're overanalyzing it. You're looking at one little detail of it instead of seeing. This is almost like the energy of looking at one. Let's say you were looking at a house. You were trying to buy a house, okay? And you're looking at the house, but you're festering on the fact that the back door to the yard or whatever is old. It's not, it's not very workable or something like that. And it's kind of like festering on that door and having to maybe replace the door or replace the area around the door or something like that. And you're losing the fact that the rest of the house is exactly what you are wanting. Right? The yard is beautiful. The rest of the house is beautiful, but you're kind of festering on one little aspect of the house or whatever situation that you're in, right? It's kind of like going to work every day and you have all these coworkers and one coworker really annoys you. Okay, but understanding that you have maybe 20 other coworkers that you really enjoy working with. It's almost like you're concentrating a little bit too much on what isn't working in a situation instead of taking a look at what is working in the situation. What is really good about a situation. This is a little bit like an old married couple, right? It's kind of like, you've been together for so long and, maybe one of you snores, okay? And it's like, oh, this snoring. It's like, I've got to get away from this person. I can't live with this person anymore. They snore. I can't sleep. Instead of trying to find a solution for that, even sleeping in another room or whatever it is. It's kind of like understanding that you really and truly love the person. This is your person. They have a snoring issue. This is kind of like, are you really going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? This is that type of energy. Yeah, and it's understanding you have something here. This is destined. This is truly destined on your path. I feel like this is a person, maybe even a new person or a new opportunity, a new situation that's coming in for you. And the problem is that there's something that you don't, I'm going to say about the person or the situation. It's like everything else is perfect. It's kind of like understanding, like maybe this is a person that loves to wear brown shoes and you hate brown shoes. And you're like, oh my goodness, they wear brown shoes. There's no way I could be with this person. They wear brown shoes. And it's kind of like understanding, okay, wait a minute. But everything else, the core values of the person, right? The way you feel when you're around them, the way they make you feel safe, the way you can talk for hours, right? All of the mutual interests that you have, all of the opportunities to learn new things from this person. It's kind of like all of that is just amazing, but they do wear brown shoes. And it's almost, here's the thing. Here's an opportunity. You have the Page of Pentacles here, right? But there's something here about understanding, learning. The Page of Pentacles is about you learning why how you deceive yourself. There's almost like self-sabotaging, bringing yourself your own heartbreak because you need a different perspective about how to work with a certain person if you're resonating and it's a certain person already in your life, or understanding. I feel like this is almost like spirit coming in and saying, Leo, there's somebody new on your path or a new opportunity. I'm saying a person because we have new supportive connection. There's somebody new that's coming in. It's taken a while for this person to come in, but all you're kind of like, yeah, you're sabotaging. Look at, you have the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. You're sabotaging your own happiness and joy because it's almost like when somebody has a flaw or a situation, right? It's kind of like you move on. Like you don't. It's kind of like understanding. And I have to say, I have a Leo rising. I can kind of see how this has played out in my own life, right? It's kind of like, let's go back to a house. Let's put people to this side, although I think this is a person. But let's go back to a house, okay? When I was searching for a house, I literally would walk into a house, and if I didn't get that instant feeling about the house, then I was like, no. Right? And my daughter was looking at the houses with me, and she was kind of like, but look at the whole house, right? And I had this long list, I have to admit, long list of must-haves in my house, right? I've owned a lot of houses, so I knew what I was looking for, right? And it was just kind of like, no. And you know what? The house that I actually bought, when I first initially walked into it, I was like, no, this isn't the house. And then when I went home and I walked through the whole house, right? And then I realized it had everything on my list. But you know what it had? It had gray walls. It's the light gray, but it had gray walls. And that was why I initially said no. It's kind of like you with the brown shoes, right? Or the scenario with the brown shoes. It's understanding. I walked in, I said, gray. I can't deal with the gray walls. Okay, but you know what I've done? Is painted the gray walls, right? Painted them a color that I do like. It's understanding that you're saying no to something. And I feel like it's a pattern that's repeating because you're being asked to take a look at. If there's something that you do want in your life, I feel like it is a relationship, an emotionally connected relationship, something that is balanced, right? You're looking for balance in your life, give and take, this happy family, 10 of Cups energy, happy family, happy life. You're looking for that, and yet at the same time, you're preventing yourself from getting it because there's always kind of like, this is you allowing yourself to see how you may be holding yourself back. Your obstacle here is, angel of love, right? You have the angel of love, but it's kind of like, you're always, I'm using always and never. I try not to do that. Is that the problem here? That you're using superlatives like that, right? It's kind of like asking yourself, right, why you have the consciousness of lack and then the angel of love, kind of like waffling between these two. Are you wanting love in your life? Are you wanting this 10 of Cups energy? You're wanting connections. You're wanting to feel connected to other people, to have happiness, joy, abundance in your life. You're 10 of Cups. You're in the energy of love. And when we're in the energy of love and we're trying to manifest something and we're in that loving energy, we attract in people and situations that are vibrating at that higher level. But then sometimes you fall into the energy of lack, which is fear-based. So it's kind of like understanding that if you're in that energy of fear, you're only going to attract in. Are you allowing yourself to only look for the negative in things? I'm just kind of like throwing some things out that are, I'm channeling, but it's kind of like just understanding. Sit back and just asking yourself these questions, right? When a new situation or opportunity, a new relationship comes onto your path, what is the pattern that you're seeing? Look at the big picture. Do you immediately look for the flaws? Kind of like I was when I was looking for a house, right? I had my list. I was trying to manifest something of the list of the things that I wanted in the house. But as soon as I walked in and I saw something I didn't like, I focused on that instead of focusing on, okay, let me go back to my list. If a new person comes in, right? And you notice the brown shoes right away, are you focusing on the brown shoes instead of saying, well, let me see what else the package has in it, right? What else does this person have to offer me? If we focus on the negative, then we really don't ever get the opportunity to look at the good in the situation. I almost didn't buy this house. I almost didn't. And now it's kind of like understanding we say no to something because we notice something we don't like and we say, oh, no, that's it, done. And then we walk away. But I feel like you have an opportunity. You may have even passed up some opportunities because underneath you have financial constraints and you have the Five of Swords. You may even have some regrets. It's kind of interesting because where the house that I live in is in a new construction area. So, there's a lot of houses. I was one of the first ones that moved in. So there's a lot of houses that are under different, stages of construction. And the neighbors and I, we love to walk around and look in the houses, And it's kind of like, you can play that game of going back and forth of, oh, I wish I had bought this house, right? Oh, I wish because, it has a better yard, it has a better view, it doesn't have great paint, whatever it is. It's kind of like allowing yourself to be good with what it is that works for you, what your 10 of Cups is, not what everybody else's 10 of Cups is. And I feel like maybe this would be a little bit of understanding that maybe you did at one time allow something to slip through your fingers, an opportunity, a person, a situation, slipped through your fingers, right? Because you were so afraid that it would break your heart. That actually broke your heart because you didn't say yes to it. I think you're understanding that's part of the justice of this, right? Is that are you going to say no to things that are coming onto your path, right? Because you're fearful of the situation not working out the way that you want it to, but also understanding that by continuing to say no, you don't get to experience anything new, right? If I had not said yes to this house, I would still be living in my old house, which I was trying to move out of. So it's understanding, I want something new, but if you're kind of stuck, if you're wanting a new relationship, a new job, a new house, a new situation in your life, and you're having a hard time having it manifest. First of all, the thing is to stay in this loving higher vibration, right? Staying positive. Looking at things almost like rose-colored glasses with rose-colored glasses on, allowing yourself to look at the good in situations instead of focusing on what isn't working. Because by focusing on what isn't working in any situation, you're allowing your energy to drop. Even if it's, say you're looking for a new home, right? But you go to the grocery store and you're nitpicking the produce, or you're, whatever at work, right? You're upset because the copy machine isn't working the way that you want it to, or whatever is going on. It's kind of like getting into an energy of being grateful and looking for the good in things. yeah, they're showing me like a bunch of apples, like at the grocery store, right? If you're looking at them and you're looking for the bad apples, this is, no, I'm looking for the good apples. It's almost like, yeah, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to be taken by the grocery store. I don't, right? I don't want to get home and have a bad apple. So I'm, I got to toss out all the bad apples. You might sit there and be one of those people that, tosses the bad produce over there so they can get to the better produce, right? It's kind of like understanding, what goes around comes around, right? What you're putting out is coming back to you. This is the energy of understanding. You're almost like deceiving yourself because you're overthinking situations. You're overanalyzing situations. Instead of getting back into the energy of love and looking at things in that loving energy. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you're just being disappointed. This is over and over again. You're blocking it. You're blocking it. And I think part of it is that you're actually telling yourself, I don't want to make a mistake, right? I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to make a mistake. So you're over analyzing everything. You're looking at the flaws because you don't want to be, there's almost this energy of you may have been betrayed at one time and you're like, I don't want to be betrayed again, right? You could have been in a romantic connection that ended up, it was a third party, right? And you're kind of like, well, I want to make sure I don't fall into that again. But at the same time, you're almost like so festering on that scenario of not bringing in a third party again, that maybe you're either only attracting third party situations, right? Or you're just not attracting in a true loving relationship because you're focusing on what you don't want instead of what it is that you do want. Really kind of interesting energy because we just had the new moon in Virgo, which is really about revamping our habits, our mindsets, understanding that our mindsets and our habits can prevent us from having what it is that we want. And in this case, it's about allowing yourself to take a look, find what you love in everything that's going on around you. It's kind of like being grateful when the copy machine, the copier works the way it's supposed to. Being grateful for finding 3 beautiful apples in the whole selection. It's understanding that by focusing on the good, you're going to attract in better situations for yourself. Yeah. And you're also going to have this sense of more enjoyment. It's almost like allowing yourself to use it like a game, almost like a game, looking for the good in people and situations, trying to find the good. Yeah. It's a really kind of universal message for all of us. And for you, Leo, I think it's kind of like coming to terms with perhaps speaking your truth about how a past situation really did affect you and allowing yourself to kind of right that, right? The Justice card is about bringing karmic balance, about allowing yourself to right something. And in the past, there could have been somebody that really broke your heart. So you have a lot of energy here in the negative. This is the energy of, no, I'm going to focus on what I want and allow the scales, right? The negative it's about, I want to bring this balance back into my life by allowing myself to focus. The only way we can get rid of this energy is by raising our vibration and being in the energy of love, of not fearing people, of not fearing love, of not fearing new situations, embracing it, allowing ourselves to embrace it. Wow, powerful. Okay, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice, and I do personal readings. So if you're interested, Leo, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, so this one popped out. So yeah, Okay, so you actually have two that popped out, and then we'll do this one. Do I surround myself with people who lift me up? Yeah. All right, so understanding that the people you surround yourself with are very similar to you, right? You take on their energy. This is you allowing yourself to, if you're surrounded by people that are negative, you become negative, right? It lowers your energy. It's allowing yourself to step away, distance yourself from people like that. The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? Yeah, so first of all, it's about taking a look at what may need, who you may need to kind of like distance yourself from. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Those are the people at work. Those can be neighbors. They can be friends. They can be family members. You know, the negative Nellies of the world, the Debbie Downers, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize that when you're around somebody like that, your energy goes down. I don't know. I have, a couple of people in my life that can be kind of like that. And, I always limit how long I'm on the phone with them or how much time I spend with them. Because otherwise, you just kind of like, if you spend time with somebody and afterwards you are feeling down, that is not the type of person you want to be around. You also don't want to be that person to other people, right? Understanding that if we stay in this negative energy, then all of a sudden what happens is that people don't really want to be around us because we're lowering their energy. Okay, what can I do to make a difference? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it, such that every ounce of you screams no more? Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Yeah, and Leo, I do feel like you've been through something painful, but it's about allowing yourself to kind of write that, okay? Not that you created this, right? But it's kind of like coming out of that. You've had some time to rest from it. It's kind of like, okay, how can I see the big picture? How can I take what was painful and now turn it into something that is profitable for me, right? And it could bring you abundance as far as financial gain, but it could also bring you abundance and joy and love and purpose and happiness, right? And then you also have, who can I serve today? Leo, I feel like one of the things is if you're feeling kind of like betrayed, feeling like money may be tight for some of you. You could be regretting some situation in the past, right? You could have gotten divorced. You could have had lost a job or something. And it's kind of like you're regretting something, okay? Because your finances might be kind of limited at this time. This is trying to turn that around by focusing on what you do have, the money that you do have, being grateful for that. And then also flipping the coin. Instead of looking at what's going wrong in your life, it's about taking a look at how can I help other people. It helps to raise our vibration, right? It really and truly does. In a world lacking soul-to-soul connection, small and simple acts are what creates the biggest and most lasting impact. We shift our pain and experience an avalanche of love when we lose ourselves in the service of others. And you don't have to do a lot in order to get that shift. It's smiling to people on the street. It's waving to people, right? It's about chatting in a nice way, in a friendly way, in a high vibrational way to strangers in the coffee shop, the grocery store, whatever it is. It's allowing yourself to shine your light. And the more you experience that, when you smile at somebody and you can tell that you're impacting their day and they smile back or they wave, what happens is that you're also receiving a little tidbit of love. It's understanding that your energy, the energy you're putting out at this time is really important. It's what we put out is what we receive. If you are putting out love, you're going to receive love. If you're putting out mistrust, looking for the negative or the bad in situations, you're going to get more situations that are going to bring that type of energy to you. This is kind of like, okay, just try it. Try for 2 or 3 days. Just try to be, Pollyanna. Go to the other extreme. Try it. And it's kind of like amazing how quickly you can turn your energy around when you allow yourself to focus on literally bringing happiness and joy to other people. And that doesn't mean that you have to overextend yourself, right? I feel like you do need to rest a little bit at this time, but it's kind of like also understanding you have a lot to offer through your smile, through saying hello to people, by waving, by chatting to them, by acknowledging them, by letting them know that they matter. They will then also allow you to know that you matter. And you do matter, Leo. You really and truly do. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you so much love and hugs. I really am. And I appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.